what would you do if I ordered a number 4? And she paused, and then it was like, sir, you can leave.
And so he puts it to the back of my head and says, get down on my knees.
The guy didn't take any money. Mm-hmm. He took, at the time there was that fake weed stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He took all of that and all the rolling papers they had and ran from the cops trying.
That's what you could wear to Honduras to protect you from the air.
Hey, you have like an hour worth of talking, okay? Leave me alone.
Guy, a little quieter, please.
Yeah, I'm talking, man.
We have time to think, and they don't want us thinking for ourselves.
OJ's wife's killer can finally rest.
Yeah.
It actually killed the guy who created it.
All right. Welcome back to Shed Talk. I love saying that. Today we've got these little guests again. I said I wasn't going to bring them, but I did.
You just can't say no to their faces.
I know, they're so cute.
Salem more than Sky.
I disagree. I love Sky. Y'all can't see her because she's hiding underneath the table. Bailey's gonna kill you.
Sky is so much better.
I like Salem a lot better.
I like Sky better.
Anyway, so we have a special guest for this podcast, and maybe the next one we'll see. This is Patrick.
Hi. I don't know where the camera is, but hi.
I believe that one's looking at you.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah. Anyway, he is our brother, mine and Colby's brother, and I guess Steven's adopted brother because Steven's adopted into the family.
Apparently, that's what your mother told me.
Yeah. Quit saying it
I'm
like
not the
that.
only adopted one now.
You're half.
Technically true, but technically not true at the same time.
Well, today we've got some great things lined up, but we're doing this in the morning. And by the way, it's cold. We're not just trying to dress like
We're not trying to look like
I don't wear blankets.
What's that? Joe Rogan.
We
We're
do
not trying to look like
in
Joe
a shed
Rogan.
where there's no heater.
Yeah.
Did you notice how heavy my jacket was?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
It's full of shotgun shells.
Oh, no.
This is my hunting jacket that just happened to be in the back of my car.
There's something just going to go popping off over there, and we're going to hit the floor.
I probably have at least a
Give me
box
PTSD.
of 12 gauge shells in the pocket.
I was just say, is it birdshot or is it
It's
buckshot?
steel shot.
But it is 9:17 in the morning, and some of us have had caffeine, but others have not. So it is time for a ghost.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hey, you want a ghost?
Got any grape?
We got green apple. Oh, yeah, right here.
Sweet.
That's better.
I'm ready.
Me too.
Thank you, Jesus. You already opened yours up.
Well, he's part of the Trinity, which has the Holy Ghost.
It does have a hole in the top.
Tastes like grapes.
Got any grape?
I don't know if you watched that last podcast.
Tastes like Teen Spirit.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you watched that last podcast. We had we have a new video for every time we open our ghost now. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see it.
It's pretty cool.
Show you after.
Yeah, we'll show you after. But today we're going to talk about some stories about some things. So,
Some things. Huh?
I love his descriptions. Some stories about some things. Well,
So cryptic.
Which things, Caleb?
so Steven had some problems at a local fast food chain the other day, and he wants to tell you about it.
We're doing that one now?
Yeah.
So I was getting off work, and I was a little hungry because I didn't eat dinner that night because we were running so much. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think I'm going to stop at Burger King and try their chicken biscuit because McDonald's was like packed. So I pull in. There's nobody hardly there. I think there's like one or maybe two workers inside. I pulled up to the thing. I was like, yeah, can I have a chicken biscuit? And this lady come on with the biggest attitude. She's like, we don't make those here. And I was like, thinking, I'm looking at the menu. Number 4 is a chicken biscuit. And I'm like, maybe she misheard me. I'll repeat it. I said, so you don't make chicken biscuits here? She goes, no, we don't. I was like, oh. What would you do if I ordered a number 4? And she paused and then was like, sir, you can leave. Fair. So I left. And then the next week come around and I was like, I'm going to go try for another chicken biscuit. So I drove up to the little speaker box. I was like, yeah, I would like to order a number 4. And it was a different person that was taking my order. And they're like, all right, what would you like to drink? And I was like, huh, that's great. I said, I'll take a Sprite. I pulled up, I paid, and they handed me the chicken biscuit, and I looked in it. I opened it up, chicken biscuit, and I looked in the window, and there she was. And I said, hey, you guys do make these here, and drove off.
Oh,
So I don't think I'm going to go back to that Burger King.
yeah, they're gonna like start spitting in your food or something.
Yeah.
I got a chicken biscuit.
Can't get another chicken biscuit. Got any grape? But she said it like I was trying to order like a Big Mac or something at
like
Sonic.
like those videos where the guys go to McDonald's and they're like, "Can I get a McFart sandwich or something?"
Yeah, something crazy.
A Mc
Yeah,
is what the. That's an actual thing. As somebody who used to work at McDonald's, a bang is an actual thing.
So
Want to know what it is?
the first time I heard that, I was with my
As
cousin.
opposed to the regular bang.
I was with my cousin in the car, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to make bang?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I'd never.
Well,
heard
you
it
get a
before.
bunch of McDonald's workers together.
We were like 18 or 19, you know. And he pulls up to the little speaker box. I'm like, he's not going to say it. And he did. He goes, "Can I get 2 McBangs?" Mm-hmm. And the lady goes, "That is not what they are called. They're called McFriendlies." And
Well, usually you get very friendly in a bang. I'm sorry.
but so
Otherwise,
we pulled
it's
up.
awkward.
We pulled up. He goes, "She knew what I was talking about, though, huh?" And I was like, well, "I guess, but I'm not ordering that."
Oh, I'll do it all the time. I mean,
oh my god, I'm afraid
Well,
of what they're gonna put
correction.
on the sandwich.
And when I go back to work now, we're going to go to McDonald's because I don't eat at McDonald's. And I'm be like, can I have a Mc-" I'm not going to eat it, but I just want to order it.
it is a
Double cheeseburger.
double
with a chicken
cheeseburger
patty.
and a McChicken put together.
Okay, I might
all
eat
it
it
is.
then. Just make sure that it's only cheeseburger and chicken and nothing else. I'm a very picky person.
I
Yeah.
get paranoid that they always put like something on the sandwich that shouldn't be there. You
The
know?
secret
And
sauce.
No.
yeah, I'm not gonna like say anything specific, but I will say it looks like mayonnaise because I have had a friend whose mom went to Wendy's and got some special mayonnaise on her burger.
Oh wow!
Why would you order
No,
that?
like, well,
She didn't order it.
generally speaking,
This guy got in trouble for doing it to a bunch of people's sandwiches.
yeah, because you go to prison. That's generally the reason why people don't do that. Is because, yeah, like I understand there because I used to work in fast food, and there are people there, like individual, single individuals that will, you know, they might screw with your food. But generally speaking, the rest of us who work there usually catch it and either get them fired or, you know, tell them to cut that crap out.
I'd be like that movie with Ryan Reynolds. I'd be like,
Sorry, the dog.
table number 3. All right, bet.
Now, sometimes we'll intentionally screw an order up just because somebody was being a jerk. But even then, if you do that, they come back and are more of a jerk. So you just create more problems for yourself.
But like
Generally.
but you got to be careful how you phrase that because we have had some people recently in our comments that'll be upset if they find out that you're as old as you are and still work at a fast food restaurant.
Oh, I don't work there no more. I stopped working there whenever I was like 19.
He has
so
a
like
So-
college degree now.
And I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm like in my mid-30s. So it's been it's been a while since I've worked at a fast food place.
Yeah, I've never worked fast food.
It is a character building experience.
Yeah, it's like
something I would never.
It teaches you to deal with.
I worked at a fast food place, and I had a friend pass away, and I wanted to go to their funeral, and they told me I couldn't take off for it.
hey, you know what's funny?
And I was like,
Guess. Just take a wild guess as to what fast food restaurant it was.
By the way,
Chick-fil-A.
yeah,
You worked at Chick-fil-A?
yeah,
I worked
he
at
worked at
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A for like 2 weeks,
No, it was 3 months,
3 months. Okay,
something like that.
it was a short amount of time. I was guessing.
And they kept forcing me to work extra hours. That way, their friends can get off on time or get off early. People wouldn't show up; they wouldn't fire them, so they made me stay over. And then I wanted to go to the funeral, and my other friend wanted to go to the same funeral, and they let him take off, and they were going to let me take off. And finally, the manager or the shift lead was like, "I'll work for you. Just go to the. I'll work for you," because the manager wasn't going to let me. And I came back, and I was like, I can't work for this place. I got to go. So I put in my 2 weeks. Well, the reason why I put in my 2 weeks because I also let them know a month in advance. That I used to be on a dance team, believe it or not. I had a dance competition, and
Not the spicy kind.
I went out of
dance.
town. Yeah,
It was ballet.
Chippendales. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
he did ballet.
We do have videos though.
yeah.
I
Somewhere.
went out of town, and I went to a dance competition, and they called me right before I went on stage. It's like, "Hey, you have a shift today? You supposed to be here?" I was like, "No." They're like, "No, you're scheduled to work today." I'm like, "I gave y'all a month and a 2 weeks notice that I was going to be out of town. How do you have me on shift?" "Well, we didn't approve it." I was like, "It wasn't a question."
Yeah.
I'm letting you know I have to go out of I'm a high school student who does extracurricular activities. I'm going out of town. And then they were like, "Well, just do you think you can make it back?" I'm like, "I'm 3 states away. How am I supposed to make it back?" They're like, "Oh, well, okay. Just enjoy." I'm like, "Okay."
Let me stop everything I'm doing and because my life revolves around fast food restaurants.
A lot of them think that. And then so I came back and I was like, "You know what? Y'all giving me a hard time about it. I followed the rules. I hate it when I follow your rules. It's not just fast food, but I follow your rules, and then somehow your rules change verbally and not on paper, and somehow I still end up in trouble." So I was like, "You know what? Here's my 2 weeks." They didn't schedule me those last 2 weeks. I was like, "That's all right."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and you kind of find this out in the corporate world, in what I would call big boy jobs. That a lot of places are not like that. A lot of places are, if you give them notice about what you're going to do, like a doctor's appointment, you have something going on, they take it as this is happening, and okay, here you go. Now they might say, like for my job, if I have to go do something and I don't have the necessary hours to get paid to go do it, like if I don't have, vacation time or something, then I eat those hours or I try and make them up. But it's not a question of if you're going to allow me to go do something. It's oh, okay, you're going to go do this. That's fine. Just as long as I'm giving them plenty of notice, if at all possible. But
I always try
fast
to give
food
a month's
restaurants,
notice.
yeah, fast food restaurants think that they're the most important. That, generally speaking, in my experience, they think that they are the most important thing in your life, and your life should revolve around them.
And you're expendable.
Yeah. So,
I mean, because who else is going to, put fries in a fryer?
yeah, it's like, to be honest, to be fair, like
To be fair.
most fast food restaurants can get by on 4 people. You have your person up front, your person in the drive-thru, your person assembling the food, and your person cooking the food. And we've done that. We've done it with 2 or 3 people at McDonald's where I was working. And so it's possible. It's not comfortable. It's not something you want to do, but you can get by. People are going to gripe and complain, but everybody gripes and complains about fast food.
There's always a Karen.
Right. Nobody goes to a fast food restaurant thinking, "Oh my God, I really want this. I'm so excited." No, you go to fast food because you don't feel like waiting the hour to get your table and get your food at a normal restaurant.
That's a lie, sir. I go to McDonald's and get chicken nuggets because I love McDonald's chicken nuggets.
You can get the Purdue chicken nuggets from the freezer section at
But
Super
those
One,
are frozen, and I have to go home and cook them.
and they're cheaper. Who cares about
If I
spending?
wanted cheaper, I just go to Wendy's and get 50 chicken nuggets.
Okay,
for like
pop-
$10.
He,
Oh, yeah.
he also goes to Burger King because he really loves the chicken biscuit.
It actually wasn't even that good.
Most of us normal human beings don't go to fast food restaurants because that's our first choice. It's like fourth
It's
or
usually
10th.
because we're in a hurry to do something, or we're just. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say me because I don't want to call people lazy. I am lazy, and I will go get fast food just because I don't want to cook, and I don't want to go to a restaurant.
Don't want to clean up
And-
the mess.
Depending on the restaurant, they get mad at you if you don't tip at least 50%. So then
Well,
they're like, you can't eat here. They don't really say this, but people online are like, you shouldn't go out and eat if you can't afford to tip your waiters. And I'm like,
Shouldn't
okay,
be a
well,
business
I'll go,
if you can't
I'll
afford
go
to
to
pay
fast
your
food. then. Fast food, here we
The difference
come.
between me and you guys
Well,
Panda
and
Express.
Owen is I am a fat man who loves food.
well,
Yeah,
what people
Owen's-
think is
Owen's
Owen's not fat, so
right. Well, it's the thing is that a lot of people don't realize that. I understand that there are waiters and waitresses, in the restaurant business that live and die by their tips. Well, in the night, it was during Prohibition, I believe, that they decided, hey, we don't have enough money in this business to pay you, so we'll let the customers pay our waiters and waitresses. That is where tips come from. It is not because, and it just kept on going, and they got lobbyists to make it a law where, we don't have to maintain a minimum wage for waitresses and
Which
waiters.
is strange because these
So-
restaurants do make enough money to pay their employees.
They do with alcohol. A lot of people don't realize that and I think his name is Josh Wiseman. I watch him on YouTube. Great cook. He's cooked in Michelin star restaurants. Most of your restaurants do not make any money off of their food. Or if they do, they break even, maybe a little bit more. What they do make money on is alcohol. Specifically, your wines, your alcohol sales are really what puts you over the top in a lot of your restaurants. Now, if you have restaurants that don't have alcohol, then they make it up some sort of other way, but a lot of restaurants do.
Coffee.
Coffee business is, yes, you make money hand over fist in coffee because coffee is really cheap. To buy wholesale and depending on where you're sourcing it from. Now,
I can make money off coffee. I'll charge you. I'll charge you $9 for a small latte.
exactly.
No, you won't make it. You won't make money calling it a small latte. You got to say it's a tall something up page.
You gotta pick
petite
4
latte.
foreign languages and get every single one of them wrong
Yeah.
whenever you're calling it.
And then you call
We
it.
all know who we're talking about.
You call it a chocolate mocha. You're just calling it chocolate is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate mocha latte.
Mocha sip. Oh,
And we're going to sell pumpkin spice stuff that has nothing to do with pumpkin at all. Nothing in there is pumpkin at all.
the color.
That's why that pumpkin spice flavor didn't taste Octoberish to me.
it didn't taste like October to me.
It tastes like October.
So Colby's a white girl.
Basic white girl. Hey, I can't judge because I do like basic white girl coffees.
Look,
I like white mochas.
I wouldn't drink the pumpkin stuff because I wouldn't want people calling me a basic white girl. But here lately, anytime the pumpkin season's around,
I don't care, man.
I put on my scruffy boots, I put on my hat, I put on my poofy jacket, and I
boots
go
with
get
the-
me a pumpkin latte.
The boots with
I
the
don't.
fur.
I don't like the pumpkin spice. I just don't. I've never really liked it.
I do.
I had a really good coffee the other day at Books A Million. They had like a mint chocolate coffee, and I added 3 extra shots of espresso, so it tastes like a dark mint chocolate. Oh, it was so good.
Steven does that.
My
to
wife
everything,
really
though.
likes mint chocolate. I'm not too big on mint
love
chocolate
mint
either.
chocolate.
I
I'll
used to
drink
hate
it,
it.
but
My favorite ice cream is mint chocolate chip.
I'm gonna make.
And
I'm,
my son's favorite.
I don't
is
mind the
chocolate chip.
peppermint. The peppermint flavors are all right. They're
I'm gonna
pretty
make
good.
you a mint chocolate latte. I'm gonna get some toothpaste from the bathroom.
No, that's a different
gonna
flavor.
put
That's a
it in the
completely different
coffee.
flavor.
I really like frozen hot chocolates, actually, which I know doesn't have any caffeine in it unless you put a shot of espresso in it. But I like frozen hot chocolates; those are good.
Put 4 shots of espresso in it.
Yeah. So
Delicious.
moving on to our next topic. Patrick,
Yeah.
what about that one time that thing had happened?
That one time in
That
band
one
camp.
time.
yeah,
Okay.
at band camp. Set the story up for us.
So I was working at a hotel here in central Louisiana, in a little town called Natchitoches. It's actually the oldest town in Louisiana, I believe. But there's a college there, and I was going to college. So I worked at the hotel as a night auditor, basically running the numbers at night, checking people in. It's the front desk clerk at night, but they call them night auditors because they have to check the balances of the accounts at the end of the night. But anyway, I digress. So I forget what day it was, but I was working the night shift and the overnight shift, and we have a local forest here called the Kisatchie National Forest, and there were a group of surveyors that had been staying at the hotel, as well as some construction guys. The surveyors were looking for, I think they were actually looking for oil underneath the forest. I'm not exactly sure, but anywho, so we had plenty of people of the construction type, of the outdoorsy type, going in and out of the hotel. And so my night I got to work at like 11. It was 11 to 7, I believe. And this was probably at like 1 or 2 a.m. So I wasn't too far into my shift, really. And I had actually just gotten paid, and I had cashed my check, but I had not deposited it because I was a teenager and stupid.
Yeah, if you play GTA, you know you got to get that stuff in the bank real quick.
And this was back before, before direct deposit was a big thing. So I had, like I said, I just gotten in well into my shift. But pretty much everybody was asleep. We have 1 or 2 people coming in and out, but now this hotel, it no longer exists, or at least the name doesn't. It was called the Travel Express Inn, but it's called something different now. But basically, it was 3 hotels in this one location, all called something different, and they were owned by the same people, the same guy. Actually, it was one person who owned all 3, and this was kind of like the cheapest hotel of the 3 that were there. So I was up front, and a guy walked in. He was a little taller than me. He was dark complexion. And he had a backpack on. And he had some gloves on and stuff like that. And I saw something sticking out of his backpack. It looked like something you would take to a work site. I wasn't exactly sure what it was. So then, he has to use the phone. That's not uncommon. And being in Louisiana, there's a culture of kind of just being, you just help people. It's not, being nice.
Well, this was also during a time where like cell phones weren't as advanced in technology as
right.
Now.
So this happened in 2007, or no, I'm sorry, it was the beginning of 2008. So yeah, cell phones weren't as common. Like people had them. It's just, anyway, a lot of people who were on the less well off spectrum of the financial situation, they may have not had one. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure, you can use the phone. And so he dials a number, and then all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, a guy from around comes around the corner in through the front door with a pew pew drawn on me. And so with a mask on. He had a bandana around his face and a hood on, a cap on. And so he puts it to the back of my head and says, get down on my knees. So I do. And mind you, I don't carry a pew-pew. I still don't. I need to. But even back then, I was only 18, 19 years old. I never carried one, and you can't carry one until you're 21 anyway. I think
They changed it, but
they changed it. Okay.
yeah.
Well,
It was recently though.
yeah. So anyway, there was no button. I know some people, they think that, there's a button to call the cops behind the counter. That's generally only for banks. Most other people don't have that kind of thing. At least our hotel didn't. So, but he believed that there was, and told me, what's this button do? What's this button do? And questioning me, because he was worried that I'd pressed it, and it was actually the button to open the cash register. So he wanted the money, and at a hotel you don't really carry money at all, like for cash, because it's not really a cash business. Even back then, it's it's basically credit cards and debit cards and checks. It's not, you don't really have that kind of cash on you at the time.
They didn't do their research, is what you're saying.
You
you
would
walked
think.
in expecting a bunch of money, and
He didn't, but his partner did, because as I had mentioned before, he had something sticking out of his backpack. Well, and I thought I recognized the guy, but I wasn't quite sure. So they tie me up and with duct tape and take everything out of. I had a cell phone. They took my cell phone, my wallet, which had my ID, which had where I lived, or at least where I lived before I went to college. I think I had my student ID in it. The money that I had cashed from my check, that was there. And as a college student, you live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, as an adult, I live paycheck to paycheck, but I digress. So anyway, and they dragged me to the back. Well, it turns out that the thing that was in the first guy's backpack was bolt cutters. Now, why would you bring bolt cutters to a hotel that you're going to rob just for the cash? Well, turns out that we had a safe in the back, and it was padlocked. It wasn't a combination safe. It was a drop box. So you could open a little slit and put deposits of cash in there, and that, but not get in it any other way except for opening the padlock. So that raised a red flag. How would you know that was back there unless you've been back there? Because it's not a very common thing. Even if you do have a drop box, a lot of them are combination locks. They're not padlocks. So they trash the security system. Take the deck that was recording all the security footage. They unplug the phones out of the walls. They trash the office in the back, and they get the money out of the safe. And they threaten me, saying, if I call the cops, they're going to kill me, stuff like that. So I'll wait about 10 minutes on the floor after they leave, and scared that they're going to come back and kill me. And then once I was pretty certain that they were gone, I then broke the duct tape, worked my way out, and called the cops. I had to go to the hotel, one of the hotels next door, tell them what happened, and call the cops that way, because I couldn't do it from the hotel I was at, because they ripped the phones out of the walls and took my cell phone. So anyway, so the cops show up about 20 minutes later. Asked me a bunch of questions, stuff like that. Oh, they took my keys to my first vehicle, the 88 it wasn't a Honda Accord. Was it a Honda Accord? Yeah, 88 Honda Accord that we got from my grandfather, our grandfather, and it had a little fuse that you could take out, and the car wouldn't start. It was actually kind of funny. It was a good safety mechanism. I could just take the fuse out, put it in my pocket, and nobody would even be able to hotwire the car, let alone start it. So anyway, I gave them the information, and after that, I kind of didn't want to work at the hotel anymore, and that's whenever I changed jobs. I forgot what I changed to. So
McDonald's.
no, it was. I think I started working at one of the. I worked at the radio station for a little bit at the at NSU. It was their rock radio station that they have there at NSU. NSU's the college, Natchitoches State University, Northwestern State University. Excuse me. But so time goes by. I think it was a year later, and it might have been even a little longer than that. But some detectives come by and ask, and at the time I wasn't living in Natchitoches anymore. I had quit college, and I think I was living here, or I just moved back. And so, and this is before I went to the Army. And they were wanting me to, pick out, do a lineup, how they normally do. They'll get a bunch of pictures together and, pick out who the suspect was. And I said it was that guy. And turns out that the guy the one who I had actually seen the face of, who had the bolt cutters, he was actually the son of one of the housekeepers. He had been there in the mornings to help his mom and to make some money, was helping her do, take out trash and do that kind of stuff. I don't know who the other guy was. Like I said, I never saw his face, but it was one of the relatives of the housekeeping guys. And that's the reason why he knew to bring bolt cutters.
Where we at on time?
We're getting close. We're about to close it out and start the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
But that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, that was that was 2008, and it's 2024. Yeah, about 18 years ago.
So I remember it's probably 12, 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My mother got robbed working at a gas station. And the guy didn't take any money.
Mm-hmm.
He took, at the time there was that fake weed stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He took all of that and all the rolling papers they had and ran from the cops trying to smoke it all. They caught him. Mm-hmm. And he went to jail.
Yeah.
Did he at least get to take
some
smokes with him in jail?
No, he ain't going to bring none of it.
Dang.
Like, if you go into jail, you might as well go to jail high, I guess. I don't know.
They weren't
go to jail on a high
until
note.
That.
Yeah.
But, so this is going to conclude? The third, you close it out, man. This is your job.
So this is actually going to be the second, episode 2. That hour long one I'm putting with season 1.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's it for episode 2 of Shed Talk. We thank you all for watching all the way through. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on the for notifications.
Turn on notifications.
Yeah.
Hit the bell.
All the YouTube stuff that people say. Thank you all for watching.
I think YouTube automatically does the notifications now. Like,
No, I make sure.
you gotta-
or is it?
I
Oh
think
no,
it
they do
used
this
to.
sometimes.
They
do
used
the.
to, but now you can subscribe, and then on top of subscribing, you can be like,
Yeah,
I want to
okay,
know whenever
okay.
they post stuff.
Gotcha. All right.
Because I started noticing that I wasn't getting notifications on things I've been subscribing to, and I was like, why is this? I like their music. Why are they not?
Watch our YouTube shorts, and if
Yeah.
they don't have YouTube shorts, they're gonna.
That's right.
Yeah, we do.
We have a lot of
Do you
YouTube
have
shorts.
and you're doing TikTok too. So yeah, TikTok, YouTube,
Until January.
all of your shorts.
until January. We'll talk about that in like 5 minutes. Like, comment, subscribe.
Got any grape?